What's going on, guys? It's your Sunday live stream at the moment. If you don't realize, I'm actually. Oh, let me take this off. Hey, what's going on? It's your Sunday stream. I thought I'd share kind of a cool story that I've been kind of going through recently, being back home. If you don't know, I'm actually home just for about 3 weeks. I figured that I take advantage of this remote lifestyle that I have, just to spend some more time with my family back here and stuff. It's been a while since I've been back home and stuff, almost about a year. So far it's been pretty good, my trip. But I just thought it'd be kind of cool, like kind of sharing, like it's been almost about 5 years since I've kind of been away from here. By the way, sorry about the YouTube content. Haven't been posting at all recently, but tomorrow I should be getting some solid edits in and just be shooting some new videos. And this is really close to my face. Holy shit. Unfortunately, I don't have my normal setup, so everything looks kind of weird right now, but yeah, I think that should look good for now. But anyways, let's kind of get into it. So recently, I came for my friend's wedding. She we actually go back like a long time ago. I'm actually quite surprised that she remembered me back in the day, man. And I literally probably booked my ticket a month ago and stuff, and just decided to fly out here. And if you don't know, I've actually moved out from home, like Boston, like Massachusetts, for about for about 5 years. I originally came here for a pharmacy job, or went to California for a pharmacy job, but as I transitioned out, I just really just like it in California. And there's something about California where it's really dope. Great jujitsu, great time to spend in your early teens and stuff, or not early teens, but early 20s and stuff. It's really great. And I would highly recommend, if you ever get the chance, take the chance to just leave. Just take the chance to really leave your home. Just explore outside your hometown. You'll learn so much. You'll learn about starting all over again. You'll learn about like risk, and not risk, but that fear of doing something uncomfortable, which I noticed, like, not with my friends per se, but I noticed there's something different about people who take the risk to just move out and try something new, right? Rather than just stay in the hometown, like doing the same things day after day. And there's nothing wrong with that if you're one of those people, but I highly recommend it. I've done it 2 times in my life. First time was in Hong Kong. Second time was in to California and stuff. So those were 2 times that happened for me. If you guys are watching this, make sure also like, comment, subscribe, and kind of tell me. Have you guys ever moved out of your home? And I would just love to kind of hear. Do you guys go through these 3 things that I'm about to share with you? So, man, I got some spinach in my teeth. But the first thing I kind of learned, right? So I was at this wedding, and I saw a lot of my high school friends that I haven't talked to in years, like years. Like I have not seen these faces in freaking years, bro. And have you ever had that awkward moment where you're just like you run into each other, you guys know each other, you guys make eye contact, and then you're just like, oh shit, I guess I gotta talk to this person, and you're talking to this person, and you realize you have nothing to say. That's how I felt constantly last night, man. I just really didn't have that much to relate, especially some of the older high school people, or I didn't really talk that much, just because, man, like 10 years is a long time. And the first thing I realized is that as you get older, sometimes your friends drift apart, man. And you just don't have as much in common to really say, and it gets kind of awkward and stuff. And I think it's actually kind of, at first I was just like, damn, this kind of sucks, man, because some of these people I used to talk to all the time, man, or not all the time, but we could hold a conversation. But especially if you go in the world of like entrepreneurship and all that sort of stuff, it's definitely definitely fall back said, definitely different vibe than it used to, right? And especially with my friends, a lot of them, a few of them are like, the few that I met up are getting married right now. They are popping out kids. I'm 31 at this time, and everybody dude, like literally, two of my friends just got pregnant pretty much at the same time, and they just revealed it to us. So like, damn, that is fucking crazy. So everybody's kind of drifting into like dad life and house life and all that. And I feel like a part of me is not necessarily behind, but I know personally I'm just not ready for that. I guess, right? I don't want that life. That's not my huge priority, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but you just realize you just drift apart over time, and it's that's one thing I realized, especially running into those people last night, man. So it was very interesting. Love to kind of hear from you guys, whether you guys go through this or not too, where you run into someone that you used to see, and it's different. Like it just feels different. The vibe is different. Maybe you guys were really close, and now you guys are barely acquaintances. It's really interesting, man. Second thing, I would say the other thing I realized on the flip side is like as you get older, some of your friends stick together. You're really great friends. The ones that really matter, or the ones that like really like kind of made me feel a little bit better about my situation. It's just like, yeah, not all my friends are very entrepreneurial, but like we just pick up from where we last were like 5 years ago. And I'm just like, wow, this is so crazy. So for the girl that I went for the wedding that I went to like yesterday, I haven't spoken to her in years, but it's kind of cool to see that she remembers me, and she's just a dope ass friend, and that we could just pick it up from where we last were, man. I remember walking through the doors. I was like, damn, I can't believe I'm here, because we literally for the last 4 years we barely spoken, maybe once or twice. I did speak to her last year after like my dad passed, and we just caught up for lunch and stuff. And it was really just sweet to see that she was the same old person, and we just connected. Even one of my really good friends, man, like especially like my friends who my one of my really good friends, he actually has two kids. I went to go visit him. He cooked us a really bomb ass steak, by the way. It was pretty dope. But even for him, he's not entrepreneurial, but he's so supportive in everything I do, and I just love seeing his growth too, and with his kids, with his family, and all that. So, like we just kick it like old times. We still make the same old dick jokes and all that sort of stuff, but we can just pick it up where we last off, and that's where I realized that's where really good friends happen. And I remember this something my dad said a long time ago. He was saying that the friends that you have now will not like won't be there as you grow up. And I remember as a kid I was like, no dad, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna have the same friends as I do now. But I kind of understand what he's trying to get at now, because your friends priorities change over time, especially when you're in your 20s. Like friends are your world, and for me they still are my world. But I definitely see as you get older, it becomes less of a it becomes less of a priority. Default says, let me kind of showcase your comments too. Sorry, I haven't been checking the chats, but default says those are good friendships. They are, man. I'm just really, really lucky to just have those type of friendships in my life, man. So yeah, so that was kind of like the second thing that I kind of realized coming back home. And the third thing I think is like really most important, man, is not fighting it, man. Like for me, it's kind of overwhelming, right? As I come back, every single time I come back, everything's always changing. My hometown is like constantly always on construction, man. Like literally every single time there's construction in my area, everything's gentrifying and all that sort of stuff too. And it kind of sucks, because not sucks, but it feels like a piece of my childhood is kind of like disappearing, I guess. Like how I remember things that used to be change over time. Like how we used to kick it in high school and stuff, and just like shoot the shit and play basketball and not worry about the world. It's different because responsibilities happen, life happens, and you can't hold on to those small things, man. I think if there's one thing I've learned is really not fighting it, and just be I know, very woo woo ish, but it teaches you to just be in present and just really enjoy the moment, enjoy what's happening now instead of the future and stuff like that. I think over the last year for myself, not only in business but just life in general, that's the constant struggle I've been trying to fight or get over. Is just like, hey Kevin, I tend to think in the future way too much. I think about what if, and I'm not so much focused on what's here in front of me today and just being appreciative of everything I have sometimes. I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I feel like a spoiled brat. I think we always have those moments. But yeah, like I just realized that I try not to fight it, and I just kind of like, I wrote a post on Facebook. Maybe I can share it with you guys. But I wrote a post on Facebook talking about this, like talking about the struggles of growing up and letting go of relationships, friendships that no longer serve us. It's almost like, kind of think about it like this, Marie Kondo for relationships as well, you know? And it's kind of like, every single friend, like what I realized too, I've had really good friends. I've had some of my best friends leave my life recently. And it's just like, hold on, let me kind of go to my post. But like, I just feel like the good friends stay, and the negative people, as you grow bigger and bigger and bigger, the negative people just drop out of your life. And it's okay to kind of let go, right? um it's okay to let go and just surrender, I guess, if that's the right word. Let me try to find the post really quick. I think it was pretty cool. Oh yeah. So here it is. A lot of people really enjoyed this post, by the way, on my Facebook. So if you check it out, for the last 31 years, I feel like I've been fighting. Oh yeah, I also have it on Refugee Hustle. So I'll show you here. And I would love to hear kind of your opinions on this, what you guys think. But I actually wrote about it. Oh yeah, is this it? Yeah. Have you ever felt like you're losing control of your life for the last 31 years? I feel like I've been fighting to try and keep everything under control. If you followed my story, I've gone through significant loss over the last 1 to 2 years in wealth and relationships. Thank God I still have my health. Today I woke up sitting here asking, why am I fighting so hard to keep everything in my life? And today I've come to peace, knowing that it's okay to let go, because nothing in life or universe is permanent. It's okay to let go of past relationships who aren't as close, business partners or businesses that aren't working out, money that you worked so hard for years. This one, by the way, like money that I've worked so hard for years, that's one of the hardest parts for me, right? And it's okay. That's what I tell myself, because if there's one thing I've learned, that what got you here won't get you there. As life changes, you need to change as well. Sometimes that means letting go. Food for thought for those that are feeling like they're losing control. And so, yeah, I just think that was a very like real post that I was going through, and it's like almost like like I said, Marie Kondo for your relationships, for your friendships and stuff. And if you ever lose like a best friend or something, maybe you guys have falling out, maybe they turn like really negative and shit. I literally had friends who, I was just tired of being used and I didn't want to do that anymore, right? And so, I mean, I stood up for myself and they didn't like it. Like, that's happened a few times, right? And I was just like, at the end of the day, why am I holding on to these relationships? If something clearly is not working, there's a shift in energy. Why would I want to hold on to that? And I'm grateful for the friendship I've made, but it's okay to let go. And if it doesn't spark joy or whatever the fuck you want to call it, then it's time to let go. And I think that's part of life. It's part of business. Is just like letting go of things and just surrendering and just being okay with how things unfold in the world, man. As much as we try to fight, and this is like the yin and yang, because if you let it skew too far to one side, then you don't do jack shit with your life, and you're just waiting for things to happen to you rather than taking the initiative and making change. But also at the other spectrum, if you're too far into it, you're you begin to almost feel helpless actually, because you begin to feel almost helpless because you feel like everything is your responsibility, and the reason why you are you maybe you're falling apart with a friend is because of you, and that's not always the case, right? It's somewhere in the middle, and I think for me, I probably skew on extreme ownership. Like that's where I tend to fall. And thank you for that. Like by the way, for those four other people who are watching this, would love your support if you would just hit the like button. But yeah, I just been really thinking about a lot of my friends recently, and I was walking around actually. I blocked off my schedule today to chill with my friends, my friend, and we literally blocked off. I literally blocked off 2 hours with her, and we are just chilling. I know it sounds like a lot of my friends are girls and stuff, but I actually chill with mostly. I think nowadays I chill with mostly guys, but back in the day, um, and back in the day I used to chill with like a lot of women, and that's why it's really important if you're a man. So important to be talking to other guys, like manly men. That's why I love things like jujitsu, because it teaches you need a good balance of like guy friends and girlfriends. At the end of the day, you need friends that um like male energy and masculine energy and femininity are very different, and I think it's really good to get time in with the guys, but also getting time in with the A1 since day one homies too, like your OG friends, because here's the thing, it just reminds you, it just like for me it's just gratitude, because when I was talking to my friend as we are like doing laps around the mall, right? Um, Man, it just had my brain thinking about like, oh, like how far I've come within the last year per se, right? Um, a year ago, I was just really, really lost with my life. I didn't have I barely had any clients, and the clients I did were kind of spotty. I was just literally trying to hold everything in life, but now looking back on it, I the only reason why I got what I did was just because I held on for long enough, man. I put in those daily reps and stuff. So that's kind of like my thoughts so far. Would kind of love to hear your thoughts, man. Feel free to leave a comment about where you guys are in life, where your friendships are and stuff. For me right now, I'm just really in the process of kind of just reaching out to my friends and stuff and just hanging out with them, and my family as too. Um, I think this is the number one problem I've always had growing up, was really like spending time with my family, and I've always been really good about spending time with my friends, but spending time with family, I haven't been the best at it, to be honest with you. And so that's part of this trip too, where if I say I can work this remote life, why wouldn't I work this remote life, right? And it's possible that I'm like literally closing calls from the East Coast when I was in Los Angeles, Los Angeles the other day. So yeah, it's kind of cool knowing that once you have a high income skill, you can actually, this lifestyle is very sustainable. And I think at the end of August next month, I didn't book my ticket to Closers, but I am going to like a content creator retreat. So we're gonna go to my friend calls it Cold Bali. My friend Rich and Nish calls it Cold Bali, but we're gonna be chilling there and just like really shooting good content, good vibes, replenishing that energy, man. It just been, and I think like coming back home to something that has really been great for me too is kind of like putting the reset button, man. Because at the end of the day, I was just kind of not depressed in LA, but I was falling into the same cycles, and that's usually a good sign that you need to get the fuck out. You need to do something different. So ever since I came back to LA, I put like kind of a reset button, right? I've been going to a different gym. I've been eating really healthy. I've just been eating like salad 90% of my meals. I'm eating salad again, and it's just kind of cool. Like when you change your environment, you can change so many other factors at the same time as well. Um, Default says everything kind of sucks currently, but I'm going with the flow. I'm sorry to hear that, brother. I hope things get a lot better. Um, but yeah, dude, really, really, really tough to hear that. If you want to share, please share what you're going through, man. If you need help, but otherwise, I'm just rooting for you, bro. Awesome. Cool. Um, yeah. So I think I'm gonna stream for a few more minutes. You want to know some cool stuff I actually recently got? I just got this high performance planner. They say marketing really does work because I've been looking at this for multiple times, and I finally pulled the trigger and bought it. I saw a sample of it. If you don't know, it's Brendan Burchard's journal. It does a 60-day sprint. What I really want to do is I'm going to set one goal and just document it every day and kind of give a breakdown of this review of this planner. I'm also in the other room. I'm also reading Mark Manson's Everything is Fucked, and it's a book all about hope. So reading those two books right now, and of course I got the OG Start with Why, and so I love this book. This is one of my favorite books. And I'm planning to read this while I'm here too. So I'm a fast reader, luckily, but yeah. Um, Mina says, "Good to hear what you've been through. Keep it up, brother. Don't lose hope." Yeah, man. I feel like these last few weeks, I've just had to kind of put a reset button in my life. Thanks, man. I've really had to put a reset button in my life just because the whole YouTube thing, it can be quite a grind, and when you're not seeing the metrics that you want, hitting the certain metric, like my YouTube channel is doing pretty well, but I just had to put a stop on it because I just didn't feel like it was very not authentic to me, but it was just a lot older content that I was just uploading, and I was just like, okay, like this is cool and all. I have a lot of cool interviews and stuff like that, but what I really want to do with my channel and stuff. And so that's why I've been kind of MIA recently, just really focusing on like very interesting, by the way. I was actually re-listening to Dan Locke's FU Money. And it's very different when you are like when you're trying to leave a 9 to 5 and you hear that book, you really resonated with it. But when you are free from that 9 to 5 and you're really trying to scale up, man, it's a whole nother game, and you're just like, oh shit, what are the goals that are gonna move the needle for me? And it comes from that one book, Essentialism, and the One Thing, and so those two books I really like because they really help you focus on what's most important right now. And for me, the number one thing that is going to move the needle in my life is really income. I think about how much easier in my life would it be to hire a editor so I can just focus on branding and shooting and stuff. Think about that. I think about like just paying for convenience. Like even right now, I don't do anything like Uber Eats or anything like that. I'm pretty lean with my finances for the most part. The only unlean part I do is like pay for coffee if anything. But I do it to work at coffee shops and stuff. And yeah, but everything else is relatively lean in my life, and it's just uh like oh man, I totally lost my that's a problem with stream of consciousness like talks like this is just like you just lose thought sometimes. I'm such a sapphire, bro. um but like I was saying, I've just been leaning out my finances and stuff, but at the same time, like there's so much more potential to open up more businesses to really help people hit their impact, man. um One thing that I learned off a closing call recently, thank you for the link, by the way. But one thing I learned off a closing call recently, from a person in sales, that's always fun. When you have B2C products and you are closing like other salespeople, they know what's going on. They know that you have like a script and they know the call flow and stuff like that. And one thing I realized when I was breaking down this guy's goals, all his goals were based off of other people, which I loved. That was such a great lesson I learned. And I was like, hey, maybe I should restructure my goals based off other people, off helping other people. Because what is business? It's a value add in exchange for money. It's not barter services, it's money. Cold, hard cash. That's what business is, right? And so, I started rewriting my goals, like my client goals and stuff. And ever since I started doing that, I've actually been hitting my daily income goal, which is about, I think my goal this month is 10k per month. And I'm not saying I hit it every single day, but I've been hitting it pretty consistently this month so far. on most days. I literally hit $333 every single day, and it's a really nice feeling. Sometimes a lot more, sometimes a lot less. Like today was one of those less days, right, where I only hit maybe what 270, I think 270 or something like that. I think 270 or 290. So I didn't quite make it, but things happen, and it's just like, okay, I didn't hit it today. What could I have done differently? Maybe I could have taken more calls. Maybe I could have screened the calls better. It just gives me a basis to focus my time and effort in. And what I should be doing right now too is like really growing my YouTube channel for a long term growth too, because it's not enough to focus on money now. You gotta really focus on money now and money later as well. So that's kind of my thoughts right now so far. Um, but yeah, man, like I've been really redoing my habits, really rehashing everything out. There are some really cool refugee hustle posts I've been wanting to write. By the way, I've been really checking out this blog. I'm gonna show you guys right now. But this guy I've always kind of respected. He has such an interesting story, and I love his branding for his website and stuff. But he's the owner of OK Dork, and if you don't know who this guy is, his name is Noah Kagan. He's bald like me, but something really cool about him, he's a marketer and he loves tacos and he's very authentic to himself and very vulnerable. I love him. I found him through Ramit Sethi, and I think it's really cool. Let's see. So he has a lot of different case studies and stuff, but I found his like things like my favorite productivity hacks ever, and I was like, oh, cool. Maybe I can create a similar post on this and just be more personal with my blog. I just really have not been productive with my blog, and I really want to make sure that I continue doing that, and kind of like not and converting some of my videos into, maybe I'm thinking about doing fewer videos. I'm not sure if should do fewer videos or more videos. Just been kind of in a lost state at this point in my life when it comes to content creation and stuff, and that's why I'm kind of taking some time off too. Yeah. So anyways, guys, I think that is it for this week. That's all I really want to do. My camera is literally about to die. It's like flashing red. I apparently forgot my charger and stuff too, so I left it back in what's that called? Not L.A. But hey, guys, kick ass this week. I hope this in the future, I want to kind of start structuring these live streams as well, because essentially this is like a podcast, man, and I want to make sure that it's entertaining, and I want to be putting more work into kind of my weekly streams, because recently I know like I've just been stopping on the live stream. Answer people's questions, but yeah, like I just want to make sure it's like a London real type of good, man, and I want to get to that level, so might as well start now. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day. Have a great week, and I will see you later. Take care.